When I started my career, I had no choice but to follow that traditional college route. I did spend the 2 years in classes, I did rack up debt, and I did struggle with the schedules that just didn't fit my life. I've talked to countless entry-level medical assistants who went through the same frustrating experience, but deep down, I always knew a better way would eventually exist. Something designed for real people with real lives. That approach finally does exist, and today I'm sharing exactly how it works. I've worked as a certified medical assistant for over 10 years, and here's the honest truth that you need to know about becoming a medical assistant. You don't need to go back to school for 2 years. You don't need to spend $20K on tuition or go into any kind of student loan debt. You don't need to drive to campus every day while you're juggling your work and your family life. There's now a proven approach that I personally vouch for that could help you get job ready as a medical assistant in as little as 4 to 6 months. If you're new here, I'm Corey, and I've been working as a certified medical assistant for over 10 years. I can honestly say this career has exceeded every expectation I had when I started, and the opportunities today are bigger than ever before. According to data available on the BLS, more than 120,000 new medical assistant jobs are projected every year, and the demand for MAs is growing by a whopping 15% annually. Let that sink in for a moment. More than 100,000 jobs are created every single year. As a medical assistant, you're at the center of the patient experience. You're involved in both clinical and administrative work, taking vitals, drawing blood, assisting with procedures while also scheduling appointments and keeping patient records organized. Now, the best part about this career is the flexibility that it gives you. You can build a stable, long-term career as a medical assistant, or use it as a stepping stone into nursing or healthcare management, or even some kind of medical school. So what do you need to do to become a medical assistant? Over the years, working as an MA, I've been directly involved in hiring new medical assistants. I've sat in on interviews, reviewed resumes, and watched which candidates get hired versus the ones that end up getting passed over. Based on my firsthand experience in the hiring process, there are 3 critical things that employers consistently look for. Requirement number 1 is the right medical assistant training. Getting the right training is a foundational piece towards starting this career. The right training is what prepares you for the career and teaches you what being a medical assistant is really all about. Without proper training, you won't understand medical terminology, clinical procedures, or how healthcare facilities actually operate. Now, here's something I've seen firsthand from the hiring side. University credentials stand out. When I'm going through resumes, the ones with the university certificate always catch my eye first. And it's not just me. I've watched other hiring managers do exactly the same thing. Look, a university certificate instantly signals credibility. It tells employers that you took your education seriously and that you were trained by a respected institution. So requirement number 2. Certification. This is perhaps the number 1 thing that employers do look for. You need to get certified as a medical assistant. Now, how do you do that exactly? Well, you need to pass a standardized exam conducted by nationally recognized bodies like the NHA. The NHA offers the CCMA, the Certified Clinical Medical Assistant Certification. Once you pass, you can officially use the title CCMA next to your name. With this certification, you're showing that you've been tested and validated by one of the most respected authorities in the industry, and that does make all the difference to employers. Along with the university certification, the CCMA helps you stand out immediately. Now, there's a common misconception I do want to clear up. Training is not the same as certification. When you finish a training program, you'll get a completion certification. That proves that you finished the course, but it does not make you a certified medical assistant. Certification only comes after you pass a national exam like the CCMA. Requirement number 3. Clinical experience. Finally, as an entry-level candidate, any hands-on experience in a healthcare setting is typically valued. Think of experience as a resume supercharger. It shows employers that you've gone beyond the classroom and know what it's like to work with actual patients. Some medical assistant courses offer a pathway to obtain hands-on experience through externship or internships. Overall, if you meet these 3 key requirements, you're on track to start towards this career. Now, everything starts with getting the right training. That's the very first step you take, and honestly, it's the most important decision you'll make during this entire process. As I said earlier, your training sets the foundation for everything else. It prepares you for the certification exam, teaches you the skills employers want, and gives you the confidence to succeed in your first medical assistant role. The bottom line is that you need to choose the right medical assistant training program. But what kind of training program should you go for? Well, you've got two broad avenues, I'd say. The first one is an on-campus college education, and the second option is online training. Let me walk you through both these options and what you should know about them. Option number one, full-time medical assistant school. This is the pathway that I took to get my medical assistant training. Back then, this was really the only option available. I'll be honest, there are some real advantages to getting your training through a university program. You get that university certificate, which carries a lot of respect in healthcare. Additionally, college programs are updated consistently and typically include a pathway for hands-on clinical experience. Unfortunately, there are some serious problems that are associated with a full-time education. I wish someone had told me about the reality of college programs before I had actually enrolled. Let me explain what I'm talking about a little bit. Problem number one, the financial burden. Most college medical assistant programs charge anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000, and that's just for the tuition alone. To afford it, I had to take on student loans. I've talked to countless medical assistants who did the same thing that I did. Look, you're trying to start a career that's going to improve your life, but you're beginning that journey by going into debt that could take years to pay off. I've met medical assistants who are still paying off their student loans years after their graduation. And the tuition is just the beginning. You're gonna be spending hundreds more on textbooks every single semester. And there's a cost for the commuting to campus every day, and food, accommodation, all these expenses that just keep piling up. You opt for a campus education for your medical assistant training, you need to be prepared for a big price tag. Problem number two, the time commitment. These programs typically take 18 to 24 months to complete. That's a long time. What's frustrating me most was spending months studying subjects that had absolutely nothing to do with medical assisting. It just made no sense. They make you take all these general education courses that are not gonna help you become a better medical assistant. You're paying thousands of dollars and wasting months of learning things that you're never gonna use in your actual job. And problem number three, it's the inflexible schedule. This was probably the hardest part for me. With college programs, all your classes are scheduled at specific times, and you're driving to campus multiple times a week, and you're sitting in the classes that don't care about your personal situation you have going on. I've talked to so many medical assistants who struggled with this. They had jobs, kids, or other responsibilities, but the college expected them to show up at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday or 2 p.m. on a Thursday, and no matter what else was going on in their lives, it just didn't matter. If you miss classes, you start falling behind. It's a system that just wasn't designed for busy adults. Don't get me wrong, college programs do work for some people, but after seeing how many medical assistants struggled with the debt and the rigid schedules, I personally don't recommend college programs for most people looking to become a medical assistant. And this brings me to option number two, online medical assistant programs. Online programs have started gaining so much popularity in the recent years, and on the surface, they make complete sense. They really do. You get your education from the comfort of your home. They're much more affordable compared to college programs, and they offer the flexibility that busy adults really need. Online education is definitely the way forward. However, there are some key drawbacks associated with most online medical assistant programs, and I need to warn you about them. Drawback number one, the accreditation problem. The biggest issue I see in many online programs, they're not accredited sources. If you walk into a job interview and your training is from an unaccredited source, your resume goes straight to the bottom of the pile. I've seen this happen countless times. Employers want to know that your training meets industry standards, and unaccredited programs simply, they don't provide that assurance. Drawback number two, no university certificate. Look, as I mentioned earlier, a university certificate helps you stand out from the crowd. You don't get that with most online programs. Instead, they hand out a generic completion certificate from an organization most employers have never even heard of. It just doesn't hold the same weight as having a university name on your actual resume. Drawback number 3, outdated curriculums. Some online programs aren't updated consistently with the latest guidelines and certification requirements. This means that you might not be properly prepared for that CCMA certification exam. I've talked to people who completed entire programs only to discover they weren't even eligible to take that certification exam. Imagine spending months studying and paying for your training only to find out that you can't get certified because the program didn't meet the requirements. I've spoken with so many people who took these cheaper online programs thinking that they were getting such a good deal. Most of them regretted their decision because they weren't prepared for the actual career itself. Employers didn't take their training seriously, and many ended up giving up on their dreams of becoming a medical assistant altogether. So here's the bottom line. When it comes to medical assistant training, there's a big gap in options out there. On one side, you have a rigid college education that takes way too much time, pushes you towards student loan debt, and frankly, it just isn't designed for busy adults. On the other side, you have online programs that are affordable and flexible, but you're gambling with your future because you might not get training from an unaccredited source that won't prepare you for the career that you want. I still remember talking with one of my colleagues a few years back about how frustrating that the training situation was for medical assistants. We kept talking about how there needs to be a middle ground, something that could provide credibility and quality of university-backed education, but with the flexibility that online training offers. And guys, this brings me to the most important part of this video. I've got some incredible news for you. I was finally able to find a solution that not just finds that middle ground, but it actually is a step-by-step system designed to help you get job ready in the next few months. And this is why I asked you to stick around till the end of the video. I wanted to show you the real problems with the options that everyone else will recommend. Everyone will tell you the same 2 options: go to college or pick some random online program. But as we just discussed, both of these paths have serious drawbacks. That's why I'm excited to introduce to you a revolutionary approach that's designed to help you get a job and be job ready as a medical assistant in 4 to 6 months. Introducing the Preppy approach. I'll be honest here, when I first discovered the Preppy approach, it honestly seemed a little too good to be true. I mean, they were offering programs that help you get job ready for different healthcare careers without the massive price tags and without going back to school. And everything looked incredible on paper, but I'm naturally skeptical, especially when it comes to education programs. I've seen just too many people get burned by programs that promise the world and kind of deliver nothing. So I decided to actually enroll in one of their programs myself to see if it lived up to the hype. I wanted to pursue additional training in a direction I was considering for my career. And honestly, I was completely blown away by the quality and their approach. The training, it was comprehensive, it was practical, it was everything was designed with working adults in mind. It wasn't some watered down version of education. It was exactly what busy people need to actually succeed without wasting time or money. That's why I can now confidently recommend the Preppy approach to anyone looking to become a medical assistant. I've experienced it firsthand and I know it works. To get started, all you need to do is enroll in Preppy's medical assistant training program. Here's everything you get with Preppy's program. So first, 100% online and self-paced. With Preppy, you have complete freedom from classroom education. Your training is 100% online. It's giving you the convenience of learning from the comfort of your home. This program is also self-paced, so you don't have to worry about fixed classroom schedules, and you can move through the program at your own pace on your own schedule. The pressure of attending classes and commuting to campus daily can be quite overwhelming. I've experienced it firsthand, and it was really hard. And that is why online education is so much better and feasible for busy adults. With Preppy, you get that. In partnership with an accredited university. That's right, it's an accredited university. Earlier, I talked about how a university certificate for your medical assistant training can add so much credibility to your resume. One of the biggest drawbacks I've always seen with online education is that you don't get a university certificate. Well, guys, this is where Preppy has completely just changed everything. Their program is in partnership with a prestigious, accredited university. Yep, your training is essentially through this university. And after completing Preppy's program, you get a university certificate for your medical assistant training. Instead of a piece of paper from a random for-profit organization, you have university credentials that employers know and that they can trust. And beyond just your resume, imagine having that university certificate hanging on your wall at work. It's a credential that you'll be proud to show off. Next, faster completion. Another thing I really like is how quickly you can finish the program. Because it is self-paced, you can finish in as little as 4 months if you want to. Imagine finishing your medical assistant training in just a few months without spending years driving back and forth to a campus. Preppy's training is focused only on what you actually need to succeed as a medical assistant. You're not spending time on unrelated courses like algebra or English composition. You're learning the skills that matter for the job. Plus, with Preppy, you don't have to worry about falling behind. You have a full year of access to the program. You can pause when you need to, and you can pick up right where you left off. This is one of the things that makes Preppy stand out for me, is they don't force you into the one-size-fits-all model that most medical assistant schools use. If you want to move quickly and complete your training faster, then you can. If you'd rather take things slower so you have the freedom to move through the course at your own pace. Next, with Preppy, you're ready for the CCMA certification. Another feature I really like about Preppy is how well the program is organized. Instead of dumping all the information on you at once, everything is broken down into clear, bite-sized lessons you can move through step by step. That structure makes it easy to stay on track and actually absorb the material without feeling super overwhelmed. And the best part is that all of this training is designed to actually get you ready for the CCMA, that certification exam through the NHA. The program is kept up to date with the latest NHA guidelines, and it includes interactive quizzes that mirror the real exam questions. By the time that you are sitting down for that exam, you'll already be familiar with the format and the questions, so it kind of feels like a natural next step. Even if you're new to healthcare, the step-by-step format gives you everything you need to start towards this career and to pass that certification exam. Finally, there is one last thing that really sets Preppy apart from other online programs. With Preppy, you're eligible for an externship opportunity. Preppy also includes a pathway for that hands-on experience, which I think is really important. With their program, you're eligible for an externship opportunity. With an externship, you can work in a healthcare setting for a few weeks and gain hands-on clinical experience as a medical assistant. Alternatively, you can take advantage of their job assistant services, their team. They work with you on your resume and connects you with employers who are actively hiring medical assistants. Overall, I feel Preppy isn't just preparing you for the role. It's helping you take those first real steps into your medical assistant career. Okay then, let's do a quick recap of everything you get with Preppy's medical assistant program. First, the program is 100% online and completely self-paced. That means you study on your own schedule without having to give up your job or your family commitments. Second, their program is in partnership with an accredited university, and when you finish, you get a university certificate for your medical assistant training, but without going back to school. And third, faster completion. You can finish your training in as little as 4 months. Fourth, the program is designed to get you ready for the CCMA certification exams. The lessons and quizzes line up with the actual test, so by the time you sit for it, you'll know what to expect. Fifth, you're eligible for an externship opportunity, and with that, you could work in a healthcare setting and get real-world experience. And alternatively, you can also use their job assistant services. Their team helps with your resume and they even connect you with employers who are hiring medical assistants. Overall, I feel Preppy is the complete package. It's not just another training program. It's a radical new approach that's designed to get you job ready. So how much does it cost? I'm sure that's what you're waiting for. Now, as you know, tuition for college programs can easily run upwards of $15,000. Even online programs can often cost between $3,000 and $5,000. This is where Preppy truly sets itself apart. It's insanely affordable. You get full access to Preppy's medical assistant training program for just $1,599. Yep. For just $1,599, you're getting 100% online university-backed training, CCMA exam prep, externship opportunities, job assistance services. It's the complete package. It's an incredible amount of value for a fraction of the price of traditional programs. Overall, I can easily say this. If you want to become a medical assistant, I strongly recommend Preppy's online medical assistant program. To check out our program and enroll, you can click on the link that we've shared right down below. When you click on that link, you'll be directed to their course page where you can complete your enrollment online and start right away. You can also chat with their support team if you have any questions about the program. As I mentioned, you can complete your enrollment online and you'll get access to the program on that same day. There aren't any long application forms to fill out, and you don't have to deal with these pushy sales reps. The process is simple, straightforward, and you can begin your training that very same day. I was really excited to share all the details about Preppy's program, and I'm sure you can tell how much that I do believe in it. I've personally experienced it to further my own career, and I am just one example. Preppy has already helped thousands of busy adults nationwide start their journey towards healthcare careers, and you can find plenty of success stories online showing how it's transformed healthcare education. This program really is built to work for people in all kinds of situations. If you're a single parent and you're balancing family and work, Preppy gives you that flexibility to train on your schedule. If you're a busy professional looking to switch it up with careers, it gives you that convenience to make that transition. And if you're fresh out of high school and eager to get into healthcare quickly, Preppy could help you get job ready in as little as 4 months. That's why I believe Preppy is the ideal medical assistant training program. Once again, to check out the program, just click the link below and sign up today. Well, that's all I have for you today. You now have a clear blueprint on how to become a medical assistant, and I really hope you found this video to be helpful. Please give it a like and drop a comment below if you have any questions about Preppy's program. I'll personally be there to answer. This is Corey, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.